What's up, guys? Welcome back to Digital Dive In, the proper gaming talk show. It's your boy, Mr. Monkey, and with me today we got Jules back on this
What's
the
going
video.
on?
It's been about a year since we brought anyone back from the original show. Uh, Remember we had Bro on, we had Wally the Wombat, we had Benji, KJ, and then once in a while we had Phil, and then we also had Jules. Jules is the one. He recently came back to me and said, "Hey, I want to be on doing stuff." So I was like, "Hell yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, I miss the show. I miss your show. SJK. I'm just gonna go by SJK. Saying God Kush.
Oh
Hey.
yes, thank God, Coach. That's right. I keep changing my name. I went from Patent Hat, got bored of that. I went back to Monkey, and that wasn't original. So now I'm Mr. Monkey because I'm married now. Anyways, so today's dive in, we're going to be checking out all the biggest news from this last week. I do want to say very, very, very briefly, I just want to touch on this, not gaming related. So if you don't give a shit about this, just skip ahead. But the people here at Digital Dive In 100% do not condone any of the bullshit insurrection that went down yesterday or on Wednesday by the time this video goes up. Just throwing that out
Man.
there. Trump is out, Biden's in, woo! And anyone who stormed the Capitol building should be arrested and charged with 10 years in prison. Anyways, we're going to be diving into the latest news in gaming today. We got Cyberpunk has a brand new third-person mod where you can play the game in third person. CD Projekt Red came out and denied all those rumors that were thrown around Twitter for the longest time. By longest time, I mean about 2 days. We got a NextGen buyer guide for you guys, showing you where you can find the PS5 right now and what to look for in a 4K TV. And then finishing it all up, we got big news coming out of Sony Japan about the PS4 Pro. So, first up is Cyberpunk, as you well know, is a game with many, many bugs. And on PC, people like to mod shit, all right? So someone out there made a third person mod where you can essentially play the game in third person. And it kind of works, not really. I mean, it works to a point. It's called the Cyber Engine Tweaks, and you can find it on the Nexus mod. Personally, I saw the video of it, and it looks freaking ridiculous. But I think, in my opinion, I think it is a better idea for showing how the game was made and how they made V move in the game than anything else. Because playing it third person, it basically breaks the game. It's just not a good time. It looks ridiculous. But
I mean, to be
Jules,
fair,
did you watch that video?
yeah, I did. Honestly, to be fair, Cyberpunk is already a broken game, and I would feel better if they fix what was already released before they start trying modding it and everything like that, because it's going to just end up broken. You
Well,
know,
to
you
be
start.
fair, it's not the developers who made this mod. Okay, this is just
No, right. I was going to say that too.
random
Yeah.
internet people who decide, hey, let's make a mod that allows you to play this game in third person. Uh, but yeah, no. Obviously, the devs are working to fix the game. I haven't had that many glitches lately at all.
Hmm.
A handful. I mean, I've been crashing a lot lately though by doing
Hmm.
like random stuff. Nothing game breaking, but for some reason the game's just crashing a ton. So hopefully that
Hmm.
gets fixed. But
I
with
had a friend that has it on PS5. He had to delete it because he kept crashing so much. Like, even on
well,
the PS5, it's crashing a lot.
yeah, I ended up deleting the game and reinstalling it to see if that helped
Mm.
because I originally had
Hmm.
it on an external hard drive and then I moved it over to my SSD on my system. So
Okay.
I was worried that maybe something like during the whole transition, some data got wonky and everything. But that's not the case. I
Gotcha.
mean, they ended up patching it a while back and it fixed a lot of the crashing issues, but now it crashes
Hmm.
like at least once when I play it. And
Hmm.
then I just report it and go back into it, and then it runs fine. So I don't
Word.
really know what's up, but anyways, the third person mod though, I think it's interesting because like they really like you can really see how V moves. Like
Right.
all these movements in the game from running to sliding to crouching. Did you see
Hmm.
the crouching segment? in that
Oh
video?
man, it was bad.
It was weird. It was weird. You were basically twerking. You were basically twerking. like he gets way down, and from the waist up, you don't move. All
You
right,
don't
from the
move.
waist
Yeah, I
up,
was
you
just
don't
like,
move. It's just the bottom half is going like whoop 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 whoop. It is the creepiest thing in
it's
the
funny.
world.
I rarely ever agree with IGN, but this one was just like, you know what, you guys are right. This is unplayable. Like
It
this is
was so weird, and also for some reason, I mean, it's a mod, so obviously,
no,
like
yeah.
the game, like it's gonna show how like the game was made and how you move from first person, but you're seeing it
Hmm.
in third person. But I mean, there's certain parts that are just gonna break, like when he was like running around, jumping around, his arms got like really big.
Yeah. Or like when he dies, his head disappears.
Yeah, and then sometimes whenever he slides, he dabs.
Yeah.
He slides. His arm goes like this. He's like, woo. He's like, he
Jesus.
dabbed.
Oh my god, there's so many fun things. I can't wait to see what they do with this game in the next year. Like
Yo,
it's gonna get
yeah,
developed. It's gonna, I can't wait. Like
and that
mods and stuff.
yeah, and that
Like it
brings
kind of
us
reminded me of
into
GTA, honestly. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, kind of yeah. I mean, people on PC are always going to mod games. I mean, the amount of mods that
Hmm.
are out for uh, Skyrim and Fallout are just absolutely
Hmm.
insane. But speaking about development stuff, there were a lot of rumors that dropped. I think on Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Just stuff about a disgruntled ex-employee, I guess, or current employee. I don't know, from CD
Hmm.
Projekt Red, who came on and was talking about all the stuff that's going on within CD Projekt Red during the development of
Hmm.
Cyberpunk 2077. They
Hmm.
were just throwing out claims about content that was cut from the like original game, uh,
Hmm.
code rewrites during production, pressure from executives to get the game finished and out there and going, um, all the ongoing fixes that are happening, and also this really random claim that the original actor for Silverhand was supposed to be Cillian Murphy, who, if you don't know,
Oh,
was Scarecrow in the Dark Knight trilogy, and he was also the frontrunner and star of Peaky Blinders.
that
Awesome,
guy.
awesome actor. I
Okay.
love him to death.
No, yeah, he's amazing.
But CD Projekt Red came out and they said that basically none of this is true. Like they went on Twitter, they're like, usually we don't, say anything about rumors, but we thought it pertinent to say that none of this is true. So I guess it's
I mean,
not true, but they could just be covering their ass. What do you think?
I think that they're covering their ass because we're starting to see this more and more every year, where there's a disgruntled employee putting out a leak for a big game. We saw it with Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
There's, we
Well,
see
Last of Us 2, I
where.
think, was a little bit different just because it was a
Mhm,
legitimate employee who just
mhm.
like dropped a whole bunch of shit on the game.
Yeah,
This is it's kind of different, but it could just be like
it's
it
like
could just be from the perspective of the
mhm.
employee, and he doesn't actually know what's going on. He's just dropping shit from his own perspective.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, and also I've been watching like a lot of development interviews. Like, there's this whole crunch culture that comes about with gaming
Oh
and
yeah,
game development, where like people aren't going home to their families for weeks at a time, and so I think maybe there's some truth to it. Where like there's a lot of pressure going on. We're on the brink of next gen. People are trying to get their
yeah.
stuff out there. And it's also a holiday season. There's a pandemic going on. There's a lot of reason why people will be under pressure to get their product, out there and get it circulating. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very
honestly,
true. I mean, I get it. And CD
you
Projekt
know,
Red actually came out like during the production of Cyberpunk and said that they weren't going to do any crunching, any serious crunching. But of course, that's almost
mm,
impossible when it comes to
right.
developing a video game. Like the last 3 months of development, it's
Hmm.
full crunch, and there's
Yeah,
really nothing you can do to prevent that unless
right.
you like again delay. But even that might make the crunch time worse. I'm not really sure.
True. I mean, true, because they delayed it 3 times, and I'm sure
Yeah.
after the execs were just like, all right, we can't delay it anymore. Like, and I'm sure that's probably why it came out so buggy. It's not the developer's fault. It's probably just they had a time crunch. They were trying to get stuff
Honestly,
out there.
I think the reason the game is so buggy doesn't stem from development. I think it
Right.
stems from an optimization switch towards next gen. Because this game was
Yeah.
supposed to come out for
Mhm.
current gen. And I like to think that, I mean, they've made fantastic games in the past, right? They've made all
Right.
the three Witcher games, which are like almost perfect games. The Witcher 3 is immaculate,
Hmm.
all right? It
Hmm.
had a shit ton of glitches in the beginning. And it still does. I mean, Roach just ends up on top of a house once in a while and
Yeah.
whatever. And
So weird.
cars in Cyberpunk are kind of acting like Roach. But I like to think that the game was ready for current gen, and then they're like, okay, shit, we are so close to the launch of next gen, and there's going to be a mass amount of people who want to play this on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Maybe we
Mhm.
should just delay it briefly and put it out or like optimize a little bit better to be played on next gen so it looks better, plays better already on the current gen version. I think
Right.
that's where they messed up the most. They should have just optimized it perfectly for current gen because all those games can still be played perfectly well on next gen
Hmm.
systems. I mean, I was playing
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, that was a PS4 game on the PS5,
Hmm.
and it looked perfect. It looked awesome. It was totally fine.
Also, you have a lot of PS4 games that are putting out announcements that, hey, we're going to do a PS5
Well,
update.
yeah,
It's going to be coming in. They could have just done that,
and CD
or
Projekt
they
Red
are doing that.
also said that they said that they're going to be working on a next gen update, and anyone who
Hmm.
bought the game for the PS4 is going to get a free upgrade. So that's happening. But I have a feeling they made a PS4 game, a PS4 and
Hmm.
Xbox One game optimized for PS5 and Xbox Series X. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and then they kind of just left the current gen by the wayside. Not by
Yeah,
the
kind
wayside,
of,
but
kind
yeah.
of, kind of, because there's a lot of frame rate drops, there's a lot of crashes, there's a lot of bugs in current gen, but you don't see all of that in next gen because I haven't had any frame rate drops. I haven't
Hmm.
had a bunch of game breaking bugs, just a bunch of graphical glitches, but I have had a good amount of crashes, and I'm not really sure why or where they stem from, but either
I also
way.
feel like one more note before we move on to the next topic. I don't know. I feel like Cyberpunk was kind of really ambitious for what it was trying to accomplish.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot that was originally said about the
hmm.
game that didn't make it into the final product, and that happens. Okay,
Oh yeah,
when a
yeah.
game is in development for 7 years, they say shit at the
Mhm.
beginning like, "Hey, this is what we want to do. This is what we want our game to be." And the final product almost always will not reflect what they originally said about the game. Okay, that happens. Like development
Mhm.
things change. When they go into it, they're like, okay, so this isn't actually possible. Maybe we can do this instead. And then obviously they're also looking at just stuff about maybe stuff about censorship because there's a lot that was dropped in all those rumors. And I'll link to all this stuff in
Mhm.
the description below as well. But basically, what this employee said was that a lot of the content that was cut was because either execs or their investors were censoring them. So, okay, hey, you can't really put this in there. We don't want to throw this out there. We don't want this idea. We don't want this. So they had to cut it and replace it with something
Mhm.
else.
Mhm. I feel
But
like if they would have just like half the size, like they could have been thinking long term where they made this game half the size so it could be properly optimized for current gen, and then their next game would have been on
yeah,
PS5 only. They could have made it as bigger. They could have more optimized it for next gen and went that way. Because doing it
exactly.
this way, where you're halving it, it just
You're not.
gives you a bad name.
They're not even
You know?
halving it. They just made a current. They made a next gen title on current gen on a current gen system,
Yeah,
and that just doesn't work.
yeah.
One of the other mods, I forgot to mention this in the first point we made, but
Mhm.
one of the other mods they did was they made. You haven't played the game, right?
No, no, I haven't
Okay.
played it
Well,
yet.
this isn't spoilers, but the character Judy, she's
Mhm.
only you can only romance her if you're female because she's lesbian in the game.
Oh,
But apparently,
well, okay.
someone made a mod by finding a bunch of scripted lines, basically scripted romance between a
Mhm.
male Judy or male V and Judy, and modded it into the game. So now people can romance Judy as a male V, and I think that's kind of cool.
Huh. It's
But
kind of cool.
yeah, that was interesting. There's a lot of really cool romances in the game. To be honest, though, there's one character that's not a romance option, but she's like super low key trans. Like she just drops it into that she's trans, and that's the end of it. I'm like, oh shit, okay, dope. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Reflects real life, like how many people I've had conversations with people that were like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm trans. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
they
cool.
just drop it in there. It's like it doesn't make them. It's just part of
Something
their
about them.
yeah. It's just
Yeah,
something
like I'm a
about them.
guy. Hey,
Exactly, exactly. It's like, oh wow, that's awesome. But yeah, so I don't know if all the rumors are false or if CDPR was just like, okay, we're just going to make a blanket statement and say none of this is true, even if some of it actually was true. I doubt they would, pick through everything and say, okay, this isn't true, this is true, this isn't true, this is true. Like that's just too much fucking work.
I think games have gotten so mainstream that companies are going to try and save their ass no matter what.
Oh,
And
for
now it's
sure.
all about reputation, money.
I mean,
So
yeah.
it's probably halfway true. I would say that at least.
Yeah,
Or 25% true.
I would say some of them are true. I wouldn't put
Yeah.
it past them to say that the whole Cillian Murphy thing wasn't true, because I mean you don't just pick a name out of a hat and say like, oh yeah, this guy was going to be this random guy was going to be Silverhand. Honestly, he would have been cool as Silverhand, but I really like Keanu Reeves.
Everybody likes Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, right. You're breathtaking. Okay, moving on really quick here. Speaking about next gen, if you got the PS5 or Xbox Series X, odds are your current TV won't, you won't be able to get the best out of your PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X next gen system with your current TV. You're going to need a really high end 4K TV, to really appreciate the hardware in these systems. Both systems, like they're both 4K natives. They support up to 8K. Like you can't really appreciate that on a regular HD TV anymore. Okay,
True.
You
True.
need to upgrade. You're gonna need to upgrade.
I mean, it's funny because I actually me and my girl live together now.
Awesome.
And last year or the year before, I got her a 4K gaming TV because
Nice.
she also likes the game. So I was thinking like years ahead. I was like, I want to get something, invest in it. And it's ironic because I bought my PS5. I ordered it through Walmart. And a FedEx delivery driver stole it.
Oh,
so now I have a 4K TV and a last gen system, and I'm just like the irony, and other people have it the opposite. So
well, I have it the opposite right now. I have a regular Sharp TV that's just a regular 1080p TV. I love the TV. It looks fantastic. It's gorgeous. But it's not 4K. I really want a 4K TV. I'm gonna keep this TV for my living room or something when I buy a house. But for my whatever. But
let's get into where we can get some 4K gear.
Yeah, exactly. When you actually are going out to look for a 4K TV, okay, there's a lot of fluff when it comes to buying 4K. All right, so biggest thing you need to know is when you are looking for a 4K TV, you need to look for two big things. All right, one is it needs to be 120 hertz, 240 if possible, but it needs to be at least 120 hertz. Needs to. Otherwise, it's not really 4K. That's just the blunt of it. All right. It's like nowadays with these smartphones, like they're still running at 60 hertz refresh rates. Like, why? My phone has 120 hertz. All right. My smartphone has 120 hertz refresh rate. You need a TV that does that, all right? Otherwise, it's not going to be actual. You're not going to get the most out of 4K. Like, you're going to get the resolution, but at a much slower refresh rate. So what the hell's the point?
Yeah.
Another thing you need to look for is to make sure that all the HDMI ports are HDMI 2.1.
2.0. Yeah, 2.1.
Yeah, you need 2.1. And because otherwise, whatever you plug into those, you're not going to get that data stream, all right? You're not going to get all that stuff that goes into it that actually shows a 4K resolution. So even if you have a gaming system that supports 4K and you have a TV that supports 4K, if the TV does not have HDMI 2.1 slots, it's not going to be actual 4K. It might run at 2K, but that's it.
And then, needless to say, same thing goes for PC. Like, and I think it's more important to mention it for PC players because
Yeah.
you have so many monitors and so many different HDMI cords out there. It's like, what do I look for? How do I find it? You
You
know,
need HDMI 2.0 or 2.1, and you need a monitor that has a 120 or 240 hertz refresh rate. You need it. You definitely need it. Like my laptop has that, and I'm hella hyped.
I don't
It's
want to
not.
sound like a spoiled American, but I can no longer go back to 10. Like, I can't do 10, 1080 anymore. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know what my computer is. I think my computer is just a 1080p display, but it is a 120 hertz refresh rate, so that's kind of cool. And it has all the USBs are 3.0, and it has an HDMI 2.1 slot. So that's my laptop. All right.
I think
Now
we
this
should
is
have
$1,000 laptop, so you know.
I think one of the shows we come up with next, we should have a discussion about what do you prefer, performance 60 frames or resolution 4K?
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
a
a
big
big
thing.
debate right
That's a
now.
big conversation. That's a big conversation. But another thing is, if you're looking for the PS5, and it's kind of sold out everywhere, but, and this also goes for you, Julian, because I know you're looking for a new one. There is a Twitter feed that you can follow. It's like at PS5 Stock Alerts. It literally updates you with links to websites that are currently have the PS5 in stock. So I think they update that shit daily or at least bi-daily. I'm not really sure, or bi-weekly rather.
Mhm.
But it throws out links where all the PS5s are currently in stock. Right now, as of today, Best Buy is currently in stock for the both, or at least the physical system for 500, 450, whatever the actual price for it was. But Best Buy is currently in stock. So if you're still looking for a PS5, get on that shit. It's at Best Buy right now. If you're putting it off a little bit more, just follow the PS5 stock alerts so you know where to look when the time is right for you.
So,
Basically.
question: Are
So,
you saying that? So, do you have to? You still have to order it online? I'm
oh
guessing,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
like
No,
do the in-store pickup.
don't expect to find it in stores. That's a lost cause. Buy it online. Have it shipped to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's just have it shipped to you. It's the best way to get it, honestly, or at least have it shipped to the store. Because a lot of these places you can buy a system or buy anything and have it shipped to your store and then go pick it up in store.
I would
So
say ship to store just because
yeah,
a lot of people, me included, are getting their shit stolen by drivers
yeah. It's just
and
sad.
other
It
people.
sucks.
So yeah, guys, just be safe out there and try to keep a hold of your stuff because people out here stealing.
Yeah. All right. Last thing we're gonna touch on today is some kind of big PS4 Pro news out of Sony Japan. The PS4 Pro has been discontinued in Sony Japan. In Sony Japan,
Say
there's
what?
no word. There's no word about like any other Western Sony companies producing the PS4 Pro. As of right now, the only PS4 still in production in Japan is the PS4 Slim. So if you're in Japan, I don't think anyone watching is from here, Japan, but if you are, you're out of luck when it comes to PS4 Pro. I think they're straight up moving to next gen, and they haven't even really said why. They just dropped it that they're no longer supporting the Pro, but they are producing the Slim, which does make a lot of sense. You would think they would discontinue the Slim and continue
The,
producing the
the
Pro.
Pro, right? Right?
Who
Oh my
knows? I
god.
think it's because the Slim was more popular than the Pro, even now. Like the Pro was cool. I never got the Pro. I always just had the Slim.
I was
So
actually recently thinking about getting it just to hold me over
I
to a
was too.
PS5.
I was too, but I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I don't have a 4K TV anyway, so I can't really appreciate anything the Pro has to offer. Anyways, it had roughly the same tech as the Slim. It just supported 4K and had a bigger hard drive. It had the 1 terabyte hard drive storage.
Oh yeah, that's true. It did.
That's it. That was it. But so yeah.
So I mean, I feel like it's a good thing that they did it because it's no surprise
I
that
think it was just a money. I think it's just a money choice, honestly.
the launch of the PS5 was awful, terrible.
I didn't
So
think it was
this
awful.
will
It was just sold out everywhere, and I mean they can't really help that. It's COVID.
be
They can't really
because
produce a whole lot of it.
PS5, sir.
What?
I mean, I mean, that's because you got a PS5, sir. Of course you didn't think it was that bad.
Well, no. Okay, honestly, look at it. The PS5 had the biggest launch in Sony history. Okay,
It did.
it had the biggest launch in Sony history, and people are still saying it's shit just because they couldn't find a system anywhere. And that's not really Sony's fault. Like, they're doing the best they can during COVID because a lot of their manufacturing businesses had to be halved.
I mean, the way they handled the launch could have been done a lot better.
Well,
They
the
didn't.
only way they could have handled it better was to reserve more copy or more systems for in-store purchases. That's the only way it could have been handled better. But
Not even in store. Like, I don't know. Like, my friend made a good point where it's like, if you signed up early or you signed up to get an alert or get an opportunity to buy it, they could have just, they knew they had limited stock. They could have had the first 3,000, 5,000 people, however many they had, sign up and then get a guaranteed PS5 instead of making it just like a free for all. Like,
that's because it was limited. Like, they couldn't just promise PS5 to people until they actually gave them money. Like, they're not just going to say, "Oh, the first 3,000 people send us your emails and we'll promise you a PS5." Like, no, that's a horrible business move.
Or like when
the only way you get a guaranteed system is if you give them the money to get one. Now you can pre-order the pre-order. That might have been a thing.
That's what I was saying. Like, you could, like, you know, pre-order, pretty much pre-order, but
Yeah.
like.
But I think that's just too much, you know? Like, once pre-orders went live, like, they were sold out in, like, a couple days.
Also, they didn't do the pre-order correctly. Like, everybody was... It's just been a crap show just because people... Not only are there random drops of when it's available, that nobody's getting any accurate information. It's just like... It's just all over the place. If there was a more structured way that they delivered these drops and delivered these systems, then nobody would have a problem, you know?
True. I might have been able to handle it better, but I mean, they're also working in completely unprecedented times. I mean, you got COVID out there that's running rampant, and they had to, like, greatly reduce all their workers in their manufacturing,
staff,
factories. So they're not working at full capacity. I think they're doing the best they can. Maybe they could have done better, sure, but I honestly think they're doing the best they can.
That's probably the best they can do. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably going to be a wait, but that's why they say patience is a virtue. So,
yeah. But anyways, guys, what do you guys think about any of the stories that we went over today? What do you think about Cyberpunk in general? What do you think about the PS5? Do you have one yet? Do you have 4K TV? What are your preferences? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, you've not subscribed yet, now is a fantastic time to do so. I'm going to start streaming again. Jules is going to start streaming maybe.
And once I get my camera and everything, I'll start streaming.
I stopped streaming Cyberpunk just because it kept crashing. I don't want the game to crash every single time I stream. That's just annoying. But anyways, please hit the subscribe button, hit that share button, send it out to your friends, your family, your grandparents. Follow us on all social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We have a Reddit. We have a Discord. If you want it, I'll send it to you. I'm not just going to put that out there because it's going to blow up. OnlyFans, where KJ and Julian show their asses. Whatever you got, we're probably on it. We're not on TikTok. Fuck TikTok. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay excellent, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
And you can see my face.